Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for attending the post-fight press conference for Stormy's coming. DeGale against Eubank. Incredibly proud to be sat outside of Chris. You know, he's had to go, I think, through more turmoil and criticism than probably any boxer in Britain has, and he's kept going, showing absolute steely determination. Got a lot of stick for the 2 losses he had, which were quite ridiculous to get that amount of stick when you think of the elite level he boxed at. For me, no shame in those defeats at all to Billy Joe and George, but he's kept going, stuck at it, and he's boxed tonight. Former Olympic champion, British champion, 2-time world champion, and I think tonight's fight was about who got most heart left. Him and both Chris Senior. Thanks to both of them. We both just stuck to the path, believed in themselves, kept going and going. My old friend Ronnie to my left, same, just hung in there, they kept going and going, just kept learning and improving.
Where's Nate?
And finally here now, and Nate just jumping on at the end. His new trainer obviously made improvements to what Chris was doing, gave him maybe a little bit more belief or just more solid feeling in his team, made him a bit happier. But tonight he came of age. He's finally crossed that line where nobody can say, you know, he gets to the top level and gets found out. Like I say, when you're boxing Groves and Billy Joe Saunders, there is no getting found out. It's a 2-horse racing at that level. Anyone can win, anyone can lose. But tonight, he's stormed through that line. Fantastic performance that for me, maybe wasn't the most technical performance that I've ever seen in a boxing ring, but in terms of just absolute determination to get the result, it ranks up there. Great fight, and so that's enough of me talking. Chris, congratulations, pal.
Thank you. This was the career-defining fight for me. This was make or break, do or die. Like I said in the build-up, I had to win. I had to make a statement, and I believe that's exactly what I did tonight.
Chris?
Nothing to add.
Well, brilliant, Ronnie.
Yeah, I mean, of course it was good. Yeah, I'm really pleased. Great respect to James. What a great fighter he's been, and he fought his heart out, and he was in there at the end. And what can you say? Eubank's boxed very well. Great fight. The public enjoyed it, and it was good.
Nate, you've obviously made a big difference to Junior. How do you feel now?
I feel great. We got the win. He did everything I asked. Tweak a little things. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, well, I think at both middleweight and super middleweight, whatever he decides to do in the Premier Boxing Champions stable, there's some massive fights out there for him. And I think on that performance tonight, he won't fear anybody, but there'll be a few fear him. I should point out, James hasn't joined us, but I'd like to thank James for his valiant effort tonight. You know, like I said earlier, Olympic champion, British champion, 2-time world champion, and sadly in boxing, it's the part of the sport I hate. It's a bit like Machiavelli. There's no peaceful abdications for the princes. They have to get knocked off by somebody a bit younger and hungrier, and that's what happened to James tonight. I think it was, you know, Chris's absolute youth and determination and conditioning just passed him. So thanks to James DeGale. Any questions?
Chris, do you think you were going to stop it at 175?
Yes, I did. I'm very surprised he was able to continue. I've knocked guys out with some of the shots that I caught him with. He showed the heart of a champion, hell of a chin, and a lot of grit and determination to get up and continue. But he was hurt. He was hurt from the very beginning, and I don't think he fully recovered. But yeah, I gained a lot of respect for James. I didn't know he had that in him.
What would you like next?
What would I like next? I mean,
Rest.
yeah, you know, a little break, and then straight back on it. You know, I want to challenge for world titles. I want to fight the big names, whether that's in the middleweight or the super middleweight division. I'm not really too bothered. I can make both weights, so it's kind of whatever's put in front of me, whatever the best route is, I will take.
Is Cam Smith someone who's on the radar?
He has a belt. He has a belt. So anyone who has a belt's on the radar.
And he has a manager, and that manager is me. And you know, we will choose what is best for him, because he fought tonight at 12 stones 2. 12 not 12-7, not 13 stones, 12-2. He's a middleweight. And so that's what we're going to discuss and look forward to actually competing at again. Remember, the only reason he went up to super middle was because of the World Boxing Super Series and that bumper financial deal that was done on his behalf. That's the only reason he went up to super middleweight. So it may be time to come back down, but it's something that we will discuss as a team.
I fought at 12 stone, by the way, as well, not 12-2. Just
there you are.
just to add that.
He fought at 12 stones, huh? So that means he's a true middleweight.
Anybody else? Any questions?
Did
Come
you
on.
feel-
Sorry, go on, mate. You're right.
Did you feel you were in control from very early on?
Um,
Second round, and it surprised you?
James is his whole style, even his presence and the way he's built. He's is very awkward. I haven't seen the fight, but I'm sure it was. It looked a little bit ugly in certain areas, just from the fact that he's a slick, awkward southpaw, and it's very hard to pin a man like that down, and get off shots. So I just had to drag him into the trenches and stay on him. But again, yeah, I was very surprised at his grit. I didn't think that he had it in him to get up after 2 heavy knockdowns like that and keep going and take those big shots. So respect to him for that.
Was there a strategy that you come on strong at the end of the rounds? From the corner, the thing to be saying, last 30, get in there, you seem to be really going for it then.
No, whenever I saw an opening, whenever there was an opportunity for me to hurt him, that's what I did. Smart pressure, trying to work behind the jab, and picking punches and attacking at the right times.
Chris, now that you can reflect on it, can you tell us how much of a difference made?
Nate brought focus to the build-up, to the preparation. He brought a tailored, focused training camp, which I've never really had before. I had the right sparring. I was working on the right things for what James DeGale is. Previously, I kind of just, for all my previous fights, it was just get fit, spar whoever's in the gym, and fight. For this, we studied. We had a game plan, we had a strategy, and we studied what James was, and that's what we will continue to do now for my future fights.
Chris, James repeatedly called you deluded in the run-up. How satisfying is this win to prove that point?
Extremely. Him saying that I can't mix at his level, and that, at world level I can't win, I can't beat the top guys. I needed to prove that point wrong, and he managed to get a lot of people to believe that. So now hopefully I've turned some of the doubters, some of the haters into believers. Not all of them. There'll still be guys out there that are on Twitter right now saying that I was lucky, or whatever they want to say, and that I'm still not the real deal. I just got to keep going out there and proving what I am, which is a world level elite fighter.
Do you think he actually believed it when he said it?
I don't know. You'd have to ask him.
Billy Joe Saunders just tweeted just after the fight, Chris, about he'd be happy to fight you again. Is that something you would be interested in?
Absolutely. He is we've got a lot of history, and he has been caught doing drugs, which I can't condone. So, I look at that and I kind of think, well, does he deserve it? But at the end of the day, the rivalry that we have, it's tough not to want that fight. So that's definitely something that I will be open to moving forward.
Do you think James should call it a day? Retire?
That's not for me to say. It's for him and his team.
If you were in his shoes?
I'm not.
Chris, you spoke the fight into existence. You spoke the win into existence. What else would you like to speak into existence moving forward?
Achieving my dreams, achieving what I set out in this sport to do all those years ago, which is to win these world titles, to fight the best, to beat the best, and to inspire the next generation of fighters coming up.
Okay. Yep. Thanks.
I will say one thing, which is that the contract that Junior is under is with PBC, and this promotional company is the best in the world, and we are going to have a very long striker. Junior is going to have a very long relationship with PBC because it is the best, and we will invite potentially great champions to our platform, ITV Box Office and PBC. And in this particular network is me, and I have the knowledge. I do. The business, the craft, the art, and the language. We are coherent, we're cognitive, and we're blessed. That's PBC. Thank you.
Okay.
Chris, one more question. Moving
Oh,
down.
just stop.
Moving down to middleweight, all the champions are fights with one another. Who would you, outside the champions, like, I've got your eye on in the middleweight division?
Say that again.
So in the middleweight division, a lot of the champions are tied up to fights. Andrade maybe fighting GDG, Canelo Jacobs fighting each other. Who else outside the champions would you sort of have your area?
It doesn't matter. Whoever is put in front of me, whoever I get the opportunity to fight at middleweight or super middleweight, who has a belt, that's the fights I'm going to take.
He has a considerably clever manager when it comes to these things. So he's in very good hands.